This is beautiful. If I could do this, you wouldn't find me dancing in the streets for coins.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 animated movies of each year, 1990 to 1999.
You like it?
It's wonderful.
Then it's yours.
Dimitri, do you really think I'm royalty?
You know I do.
And now, with your permission, I'm going to do my stuff.
For this list, we're taking a trip back to the last decade of the 20th century, which saw a rejuvenation and a renaissance in animation, and selecting the best animated films released each year. Which animated movies from the 90s still resonate with you today? Let us know in the comments below. 1990, The Rescuers Down Under. In 1977, The Rescuers became the 23rd Disney animated movie and was released to critical acclaim.
Oh, Bernard, it's so exciting. Perfume, Crocs, Swapmobiles.
And thanks to a couple of re-releases throughout the 80s, the film became one of the studio's most financially successful animated movies as well. So, in 1990, the two hero mice from the first film headed off to Australia to, once again, rescue a child.
Nobody's gonna take a kid's freedom away while I'm around. Nobody, you hear me?
Does that mean you'll take us?
Storm or no storm. Albatross Airlines, at your service.
The film was the first theatrically released animated sequel from Disney, and it was also the first 100% digital feature film. The Rescuers Down Under was well received, but did not perform as well at the box office.
Something weird's going on around here. I smell a big fat rat.
This could be due to the fact that it was released on the same day as Home Alone, which at the time became the third highest grossing movie ever. 1991, Beauty and the Beast. The Walt Disney Company had tried, unsuccessfully, to make an animated movie based on the Beauty and the Beast story since the 1930s.
It's just that I'm not sure I fit in here. There's no one I can really talk to.
Then, while enjoying major success with The Little Mermaid in 1989, they decided to try again and make it a musical as well. And oh, what a great decision it was.
Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test.
Be our guest and just try to come up with a better animated movie from 1991. The film was an amazing achievement for Disney. Not only was it a huge financial success, but it also made history when it became the first animated movie ever nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. Not to mention that the soundtrack was nominated for a Grammy for Album of the Year as well. (1992) Aladdin. If you had 3 wishes and were thinking of using one of them to ask for an animated flick featuring awesome songs and a hysterical genie voiced by the late great Robin Williams, don't! Save your wishes for other things because that movie was already made.
The ever impressive.
The long contained,
But never duplicated. Genie of the Lamp.
It's called Aladdin, and it's awesome. The film is the only Disney feature to win a Grammy for Song of the Year, and was the highest grossing animated film of all time until a movie we will get to a couple of years later on this list.
Would you look at that? Just a handful of this stuff would make me richer than the Sultan.
While it's a great movie overall, it really is Williams as the genie that steals the show. As famed film critic Roger Ebert wrote at the time, Williams and animation, quote, were born for one another.
You never had a friend like me.
1993, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Although released in 1993, this dark Halloween Christmas fantasy began its life as a poem written by Tim Burton all the way back in 1982.
There are few who deny it. What I do, I am the best, for my talents are renowned far and wide.
The Nightmare Before Christmas was made using stop-motion animation, and was the first animated movie to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Visual Effects. The film was a critical and financial success and has gained cult status over the years.
Nice work, Bone Daddy. Yeah, I guess so.
There are those that love the animation, those that love the songs, and those that love the fact that one of the main characters has limbs that can come off and be reattached. All good reasons to dig this best animated movie of 1993.
Eureka! This year, Christmas will be ours!
1994, The Lion King. If you were worried that we would pick any other film besides The Lion King as the best animated movie of 1994, you needn't worry. Or, say it with us, Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, it's our motto.
What's the motto?
Nothing. What's the matter with you?
The release of The Little Mermaid in 1989 marked the beginning of what would come to be known as the Disney Renaissance, and it reached its peak with The Lion King in 1994. The movie made almost $1 billion, is the best-selling movie ever, and inspired one of the best scenes in Modern Family. The comedy will have you laughing, the songs, co-written by Elton John, will have you tapping your toes, and the stampede scene will bring a tear to your eyes.
Long live the king.
1995, Toy Story. 1995 saw the release of Pocahontas, another successful traditional animation Disney film. But it's the first 100% computer animated feature film Toy Story that topped our list for this year.
To infinity and beyond!
And speaking of 100%, that is the movie's approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. 1995 was the year we fell in love with Buzz Lightyear, Woody and the gang, and we would never look at our toys the same way again.
We toys can see everything.
So play nice.
It was also the year we were introduced to You've Got a Friend in Me, which is a great song to use if you're stuck trying to write your own wedding vows.
We stick together and we can see it through, because you've got a friend in me.
Is that the song from Toy Story?
He loves that movie.
I do.
1996, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. One generally doesn't expect an animated movie to tackle adult topics like sin, lust, discrimination, and more, especially a Disney movie. And yet, in 1996, the Mouse House released The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which did exactly that.
Now, here is a riddle to guess if you can sing the bells of Notre Dame.
While this G-rated movie is obviously not as dark as the original source material, it is considered one of the studio's darkest animated films.
Choose me or your pyre. Be mine or you will burn.
And none of that stopped it from ringing the bell on an over $300 million return at the box office. This one doesn't get as much attention as some of the other movies we've already discussed, but it was yet another Disney animation hit, and it tops our list for 1996.
Whatever that hits you, feel and bewitch you, the rich and the ritual knells of the bells of 1997,
Princess Mononoke. When Studio Ghibli was founded in 1985, director Hayao Miyazaki chose the name based on the Libyan Arabic word for hot desert wind, because the studio would, quote, blow a new wind through the anime industry. And they've lived up to the name for over 3 decades now.
I've been told the beasts there are all giants, just as they were in the dawn of time.
1997 saw the release of Anastasia and Hercules, but it was the new wind of Princess Mononoke that was the best animated movie of the year.
You cannot alter your fate, my prince. However, you can rise to meet it if you choose.
The fantasy film centered around a war between humans and forest gods became the all-time highest-grossing movie in Japan at the time.
Even if all the trees return, it won't be his forest anymore. The great forest spirit is dead now.
Never. He's life itself. He's not dead, son.
He's here right now, trying to tell us something.
The movie was released in the United States in 1999, and James Cameron has credited the film as an influence for his mega blockbuster Avatar. 1998, Mulan. After Jeffrey Katzenberg left his job as chairman of Walt Disney Studios in 1994, he co-founded DreamWorks Animation.
Dishonor! Dishonor on your whole family! Make a note of this. Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow!
The studio's first traditionally animated feature flick was 1998's The Prince of Egypt, which became the most successful non-Disney animated movie to that point. However, it was yet another Disney film, Mulan, that tops our list for 1998.
You took away my victory!
No! I did. Inspired by the Chinese legend of Hua Mulan, the animated musical tells the story of a daughter who pretends to be a man in order to fight for her family against a Han invasion.
The greatest gift and honor is having you for a daughter.
Eddie Murphy provides the film's comic relief as Mushu the Dragon, which is a service he'd provide for Disney's rival DreamWorks 3 years later as Donkey in Shrek. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. 1999, Tarzan. During the Disney Renaissance of the 90s, the studio made making successful animated movies look pretty easy. But it isn't.
I could use a challenge.
Just look at another film released in 1999, The Iron Giant. The film has become recognized as a classic of the genre, but at the time it was a pretty disappointing box office failure. Whereas Tarzan swung its way into theaters filled with great storytelling and a soundtrack by Phil Collins, and swung away with over $400 million.
Come with me now to see my world, where there's beauty beyond your dreams.
Disney also made some advancements in animation technology, termed Deep Canvas, that allowed the animators to produce CGI settings that resembled a traditional painting. When it came to animation, the 90s belonged to Disney, and Tarzan ended the decade on a strong note. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.